Hey everybody, it's your girl Y Renee, and I'm coming to you live from my location. So, hey, look, just been want to talk about some stuff. So, I got this fabulous thing going on. It's called the Level Up Tour, and I've been doing interviews on IG. However, I realized that my Facebook family, who I probably interact with the most, had not been privy to some of this information. So, what I wanted to do tonight was invite a few speakers on that probably will come on and join me, but I definitely want to get with my team and want to introduce you all to the team and what we're doing behind the scenes and how this tour has affected all of our lives, how it's made an impact everywhere we're going. So I'm really excited about you all joining me tonight. So so let's get this thing cracking. Again, my name is Y Renee. I am from the great city of Chicago, Illinois, or at least the suburbs of Chicago, for those of you who do not know. And I'm excited. I'm so excited. I started this concept. Well, I came up with an idea in 2020 to actually help some people and help myself as well to get our books out there and get our coaching products out there as well. And then 2021, it became a reality. 2022, we stepped it up a bit. Why? Because it's called the Level Up Tour. And what are we doing again in 2023? We're stepping it up some more. So I'm going to invite my people on. I'm going to bring on the person who is actually presenting the tour. This wonderful lady by the name of Dr. Rachel Ray Johnson is going to come on the screen right now. And she is the CEO and founder of Creative Inc. And she is presenting the Level Up Tour. She presented it last year. I've been so excited to have her on my team. She's been amazing since we met. I believe we met in 2021. 2021. Right in the midst of everything going on. So I'm really excited. Dr. Rachel Ray Johnson, thank you for joining me tonight, sweetheart. What's going on?
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. I can hear you just fine.
Okay. I started screaming. I didn't wait until you could hear me in the first place. I'm sorry for all those people who have their earbuds in.
So anyway, I don't think anybody heard you scream because they couldn't hear you until I actually brought you up. So if you were screaming backstage, they couldn't hear you anyway. It's all right. But we're not gonna do this. So Dr. Rachel Johnson, could you please give the people, because okay, y'all, for real, let's just be real. We are very, very down to earth. We're a little nutty sometimes, but when we get together, it's a good time. And you all are gonna see why it's so important for you. If you are not a speaker on the tour, that you should just be in the room. So Dr. Rachel Ray Johnson, I want you to give the people a little bit about yourself. Tell us about who you are, where you hail from. I'm quite sure once they hear you talking, unless you put on your professional voice, they're gonna be able to tell anyway. However,
West Side. Okay, I'm gonna be serious. Here we go. I have the pleasure of being an international speaker, a premier trainer. I am a 2-time bestseller. And I'm also the creator and founder and senior consultant. That's why I'm flawless, all those hats I wear, of Creative Inc. Now, Creative Inc. is a place where we help you tell a story, mainly through content marketing. However, anywhere that you need to tell a story, I can assist, which is how I met the great Y Renee, helping her through another event. And then we got so close, it's hard to shake her. But we got so close that we started working on some other things. And when she shared
to be attached to you,
when she shared Level Up with me, I was honored to not only help her put it together, push it out from my network, as well as coach the speakers that come across the stage and be able to share with them my knowledge with speaking, content, storytelling, because that's where it is no matter what we do.
Okay, cool. So, and where do you hail from?
Oh, I didn't say it after all that. Baltimore, Maryland.
All right, be more in the house. Be more in the house. So I can honestly say that it's been a pleasure working with her. I think that at first she probably didn't realize how much of a pain in her side I was going to be, because I was ready. The platform that I was on with her, I was like, no, I don't think I want to do this. She was like, yeah, you already signed up. You need to do this. I'm like, no, I'm good. And she was like, no, you need to do this. So she kept kind of pushing it. And when you kind of push me like that, I kind of become, I don't know, a little difficult on purpose just because I want you to kind of tell me to go somewhere, but she would not let me do it. But however, this beautiful relationship has formed from it after me being a thorn on her side. I know sometimes she sat there wishing that she had got rid of me as much trouble as I've caused behind the scenes. However, we've built a beautiful relationship, and I'm so honored to have her as a part of the person doing the Level Up tour. So now I'm going to bring up my next guest, who is, you all already know her. We're connected. Me and K Monique have been friends for years. This is my bestie, you all. And adding her to the live stream, she is somebody who is amazing. She has coached me on several platforms. Hey, Wynette, thank you for joining us. She has coached me on several platforms, not only just being my friend, but just behind the scenes, pushing me, making sure that I stay in tune. So a lot of the stuff that you all see, as far as my book is being written, as far my books being written, me being on certain stages, pushing myself on certain platforms, I do owe it all to her. But what blessed me the most was that one, when she seen that I had the idea for the Level Up tour, she jumped on immediately. When I just asked her to be a keynote in Chicago, she decided that she wanted to do all 3 cities when we were doing it the first year. Some things transpired, things happen. COVID started hitting, things started happening, so she couldn't really go to a couple of cities. But then she came behind the scenes and like busted tail last year, helping me behind the scenes, and even got to speak in Chicago. This year she's traveling with me to all 6 cities, which we'll talk about later. But hey, Kay, welcome to the scene, sis. And I just want you to introduce yourself, tell people who you are.
Hey, so it's K Monique, your possibility powerhouse, author, speaker, branding strategist with a specialty in brand messaging. Listen, I'm excited for this opportunity and to be on with you tonight. I believe in Level Up. I know that it is something incredible. I'm not going to start talking about it. I'll wait for your questions. But I am definitely, I'm just honored to be a part and to I'd also like to say it's been a pleasure meeting Dr. Rachel and just working with the rest of the team. Like, this opportunity creates a lot of other opportunities. So I'm excited.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited for you to be here. It's one thing when you can have a friendship. And like I said, me and Mo have been friends probably over 20 years now. It's one thing to have a friendship, but then to actually be able to partner in business and be able to actually push people. Because, a lot of times we see people out here, let's just be transparent. A lot of times we, as especially African-American women, we say we support somebody, but behind the scenes, we lowball, low key, and I'm talking about them, whatever have you. I can honestly say that these women that I've partnered with, and I'm going to bring one of my last team members up in a minute, we push each other. 1, 2, we support each other, and we just make sure that everybody's good. And I really appreciate them being behind this vision of mine, and it means so much to me. So this last person, she kind of like the baby of the group. She a little funny sometimes. We love her so much, but she causes so much trouble behind the scenes. This is Miss Sheila King of Eliminating Excuses. Hey, sis, come on here and tell people who you are.
Praise the Lord, saints.
Oh,
well, hello. My name is Sheila Marie King. I am the founder of the 501c3 nonprofit organization called Eliminating Excuses. I am the accountability coach. I hold you to the goals you set for yourself. I am excited to be here amongst great women. You all are absolutely amazing. Why, Renee, since the year you got shot, we've been connected, going strong. K Monique, I knew you from way back yonder, but then we reconnected. It was amazing how we reconnected. And Dr. Rachel Ray Johnson, it is absolutely a pleasure to be able to be among such powerful women, both in business and ministry and in life. It's an amazing journey. I am excited to have me on it with you.
Oh, well, look at you. She came in like the church mother that she always is. Hey, Auntie, thank you for joining us. We have one of our speakers backstage. Nick, I see you back there. We'll bring you up momentarily after we get through having this conversation with the team members. But I want to thank you for joining us. Nick is we've pretty much crowned him our ambassador of Level Up. I promise you, when y'all talk to Nick, Nick is the man. So, anywho, so let's just get started, you guys. I just wanted to, so first of all, I guess my question is, and you all can decide who answers and how you want to do it. What has Level Up meant to you as first being a part of the team and then actually being able to grace the stage? Well,
So I would like, listen.
See, that's
So
the
when
problem we have.
Listen, so with starting though, the years ago that it started at the very beginning, what I do appreciate about the Level Up is how it has allowed me to sharpen up my ability to do what it is that I believe I'm called to do. One thing I'm excited about is the fact that Level Up, why Renee, there's no way that we can sit and do anything without her pushing us to the next level. Like there's no way I can just sit back and just say, you know what, I'm gonna just do this little part. And she, so leveling up has always been a part of what why Renee does. And so to create this platform that allows us to be able to individually move to the next level, for me it was just, okay, now I have gone to multiple cities that I've never been able to do on my own. It not having to do the work, like, because ain't nobody got time to be sitting up here like booking travel and like what city am I going to and who gonna come in. Like the fact that I was able to get on something that was already ready made and just be like, here I am, here I is, and have everything set up was absolutely wonderful. And then I'm just continuing to grow, so I'm just grateful for the opportunity. That's what Level Up has done for me.
Well, excuse me, let me interrupt 1 second. So first of all, not to say anything bad, but Sheila, you got amnesia. So it ain't even just about you kind of like jumping in and just being something that was already made. You helped create Level Up, remember? You actually was the person I called to actually be my administrator to help me find locations, and you decided to be a part. So I got to remind you of that, because even though you came in last year 10 toes down, you actually were in the birthing room of it when I decided to make it happen, or when I came up with the idea to help somebody out. And I asked you just, this shows you how you all who need somebody to make you accountable for your stuff, people who you need somebody to help you with your administrative stuff, people to help you find locations, event planner. Sheila is your girl. And the reason being, that's the first person who came to mind. Even though I was an event planner once upon a time, I know that necessarily isn't anything that I care to do anymore. I know my lane. I'd rather hire people to do it as opposed to actually sitting there doing it myself. So I called the person who I knew could get it done. And I just asked her really to like help me find some locations in these 3 cities that we picked. And Sheila was like, okay, so what are you doing? And I told her, she was like, oh, I got a book too. I ain't just going, we ain't got to do nothing. And I told her I was going to pay her. She was like, no, you ain't got to pay me because I'm a part of it. And that's kind of how it rolled out. So Sheila, I want to say thank you for, being who you are. And thank you for expressing that and gracing the stage with your quirkiness. And that's what we're doing. I can't stand you. Okay, this is going to be fun, y'all. Who's next?
I'll go next. What's the question?
The question was, right now I got to figure out what I said, right? See, this one you're gonna be
I got it. I know what it was. Okay.
All right.
So what did it mean, or how does it contributed to me as a part of the team? As a part of the team, I got it. I'm doing the team first.
I'm sorry, my bad.
That's okay. All right. So the way the way it has contributed to me is not only this, but professionally, what they did. There are times when Sheila on my back, like A, B, C, and I'm like, no, X, Y, Z, or pick a H because I don't like B. But she pushes me. Even though a lot of what I and K Monique do, we do it in different lanes, but we still help each other. And she has been a great help to me, especially with this next program coming out. And I wouldn't have done the program, Renee, if it wasn't for you. I met Renee in the beginning of what I'm doing now. And I didn't realize that before this, I was already doing it. I just wasn't doing it under my umbrella, under my company. So they kept talking about me doing something. And Renee told me what she was doing. And I was like, okay, what I need to do is work with her as we do this, help push, help get it out there, talked about how we do that, how we dance that dance. And it's all helped me. So I'm appreciative of that because it pulls some stuff out of me. And that's where this next program is coming up from. As far as speaking on the stage, every time I get on the stage is helpful. But being on Level Up stage and watching people from start to finish, and I know Nick going to talk about some of that, but watching people from start to finish, I got to see them grow.
Okay, well, yeah. All right. I'm not going to interrupt after everybody. Come on, Mo, what you got?
So listen, I'm going to have to piggyback off the other ladies to say, as far as a team, us working together allows us to work with one another. So each of us have contributed somehow to each other's business, connections, sharpening, iron sharpens iron. So just being able to do that and be a part of that has been wonderful. The other part about being on Level Up stage, I want to say is I'm going to have to go back to what Sheila said. It is very helpful to collaborate. A lot of times you don't hear that. When you're an entrepreneur, everybody's trying to run in their own lane, do their own thing, worried about all this extra stuff. But when you find something good that you can connect to and collaborate with, it makes it so much easier. Because again, wanting to get to different cities. For instance, I'm currently working on my first anthology, Baby Fever Over 40. And I brought the idea to Renee to connect that caboose to Level Up so that I can provide the opportunity for my co-authors to not only become best-selling authors, but to also travel and become national speakers, right? So you can go from just having a thought, just having a story, a solution, a strategy, to connecting with me, and in turn connecting with who I know, which is Level Up, right? And a stage that I'm connected to, and it'll take you all over the country just like that in 2023. And so that's what I've been trying to help people understand. Collaboration is power. And when you can do that without being messy, when you can do that and be professional, when you can do that, and even in the challenging times, things are going to happen, because I don't want us to put this out here like it's perfect. I think if you maintain that strong communication, be willing to have the easy and difficult conversations, it works. So you're not going to find a perfect platform, but when I say a God connection, when I say a good connection, that's been Level Up for me. Every opportunity I get to speak is another opportunity to sharpen myself. It's another opportunity to do what I love to do. So thank you so much for the opportunity.
Well, come on here. Look, I'm so honored. You guys truly bless me all the time. You all are amazing in your own right, and I thank you. So I didn't really say what Level Up was about. I started this thing, so let me just give a brief synopsis of what Level Up is. Level Up is a tour for emerging and inspiring speakers. And K. Monique had to mention to me when we were talking on IG, I believe about a week and a half ago, and she said, it's not just for emerging and inspiring. You think about it. You're a speaker who maybe have taken a break for a while. You haven't been doing it. So people are not recognizing you like they used to, or you just don't necessarily think that you're back at corporate level yet. So you want to sharpen your skills before you get back on those type of platforms again. This is also an opportunity for you to do that along with networking. One of the biggest things I did for Level Up is this. After going into different coaching programs and trying to find the one that was right for me, I found one that was simply amazing, and that of Jeremy Anderson and Next Level Speakers Academy. Shout out to them. They've done so much for me in the last 2 years, almost 3 years. And when I sat there and I realized what Jeremy was giving us, he was giving us the key points to everything. And I will admit, even though Jeremy gets on my back all the time because we have that type of relationship, at the time, I'm good at pushing other people. That's always been my forte. I'm always somebody who likes to be behind the scenes. But these 3 magnificent women who are with me today, and other people as well, always tell me, Renee, you're powerful enough to be out front. You're always available to do this, that, and the other. And for whatever reason, I'm still not confident enough in myself. So doing this for me and also seeing other people strive in it was good for me. So when it started off in 2020 as an idea of just getting a few people together, and it ended up being 7 the first year. And then at the end of the year, Dr. Rachel Ray Johnson and this wonderful guy by the name of DeMont Pope, shout out to DeMont, my brother from Next Level. We had some things happen where some people had to drop off the tour. So I didn't feel like we had enough people that we had did for the day. So these 2 people came and they kind of swooped up and saved me. And when I tell you how they impact the audience, Atlanta And that people in that room will never be the same. I still have people that were in that room on that day in November in 2021 that are still talking about it to this day. And that's what kind of pushed me after getting out my emotions and my feelings to continue the tour after I got back from speaking in Paris, France in March of 2022. But this tour is not just about getting you on the stage. It's about getting you visibility. It's about putting you on different social media apps. You know, when we promote ourselves, we promote you as well. So the whole thing about promotion is we're all on this one flyer and everybody's promoting it, everybody's on somebody's social media. My network is different from your network. However, when we all get into the same room, and you have people that came to see you, I have people that come to see me, somebody's going to see something and they're going to grab a hold to it and they're going to like what you do. And they're either going to buy your book, they're going to buy your coaching products, or they're going to invite you to their stage. And I want Nick to come back on in probably about 5 minutes. Nick, if you could hit the link again, because I want him to explain what Level Up did for him. Like his testimony, like I said, he's the ambassador of Level Up. His testimony is so amazing that it really just spoke volumes of what my heart really wanted to do for the people. I want you to get that confidence booster. I want you to have these coaches that we have to come and help push you to your next level. I want everything that you have coming to you, because this is the space that you've been ordained to be in. Your purpose and your destiny are connected, and it's also connected to Level Up. So this is the opportunity for you to get on stage, to share your story, to share your products, to share your gifting with the world via every city that we go into and how we're doing it. And we're at the point too, whereas we got some things behind the scenes that we're trying to do. I don't want to necessarily put it out there yet, but it's a possibility that you can be seen more than just in the cities that we're going to. You know, and that's the thing too. Like every time I go into a different city, somebody calls me and say, well, when are you coming this? Like the West Coast is kind of mad at me this year, y'all. I know we set these dates together and we sat down and we talked about it, but we didn't include nothing past Texas. And I got some people that's upset. You hear me? So, I mean, I know what we have and what we do, but one of the reasons why we pick multiple cities as well too is technically, truth be told, not even my team members. It's my face on the flyer. It's why Renee's Level Up just being presented by Creative Inc. So I'm technically the only person that's obligated to go to all 6 cities. You're not obligated to go. If you can only do one city and you pick that city that's closest to you because you can afford just to go to that one city, or you know you have a better following in that one city, by all means, just do that one city. If you feel like you want to put your feet in the water and you just want to touch down the other cities so you could say, I've spoken in this city, this city, and this city on this platform, by all means, pick as many. If you want to do all 6 cities, I ain't going to be mad at you. Not one bit. Oh, no, not one bit am I going to be mad at you. But if you can only do 2 cities, I'm still not going to be mad at you. I'm going to welcome you with open arms. And this team of people right here are going to push you to your next, to help you look your best on stage, so you can present yourself. And we're going to get you good content so you can definitely share on your website, on your media pages, so people can actually see that you are out here doing what you've been purposed to do. So that's what the Level Up Tour is really all about. I hope I, didn't talk too much, but when you're a speaker, that's all you do is talk. You like to run your mouth. So that's what I do. So, yes, Mo.
So I just want to hop in and go back for 1 second and talk about credibility. So we talked about the fact that these opportunities like this bring you visibility, right? But credibility is also cash. It is king. It is important. And so I talk to my book clients about this, because credibility is what allows you to be hired. Once you've been seen, the next thing they want to know is, where have you been? What have you done? Who are you connected to? So let's just use this for an example. Renee is connected to Jeremy's stage, correct? So if you're connected to Renee's stage, then indirectly you're connected to Jeremy's stage. You're connected to Dr. Rachel's stage. You're connected to SMA's stage. So when you're going from city to city and you're building your speaker sheet, you are getting photos, live shots. You're getting photos of interaction, with not only other speakers, but people who come and buy tickets to listen to us speak. I had someone ask me last year, how does that even work if you have, upwards of 15, 20 speakers at one event, you know, how does that benefit anyone? And so I did my best to explain it, but what people don't understand is when you want to speak, that is your passion, that is what you do, that is your lane and your grace, or part of what you offer. You have to have a speaker sheet. You have to have been somewhere. You have to have done some things. You have to have spoken somewhere and been connected to something. So I just wanted to remind people that you're not just signing up only to travel, only to build community, only to be visible, but also to be credible. These are the things that allows people to hire you. They see that you've been experienced in the States, out of the States, in the country, out of the country, so on and so forth. And when you have this non-monetary currency, which is footage, which are photos, which is what's the other word I'm looking for? It's another word I'm thinking of, but you have all these things in place, then people want to work with you. And it also determines how much they'll pay you to work with you, right? So you got to start
right there.
You don't start on these stages and take advantage of opportunities like this. I don't care if we go to a city and behind the scenes, we're only talking to 10 people or 5 people. They don't know if we're talking to 200 people. It's different every time. Each city has something else, and it may only be 10 people in the room, but you may be speaking to 500 people or 5,000 people. So to be able to give credibility for yourself and not be lying, but walk in integrity, these are the type of opportunities you want to take advantage of.
Woohoo! Okay, so I'm gonna take a break from talking to us because we can talk all day. Because my good ambassador, Mr. Nick, the Belief Coach Dylan, is behind stage. I'm gonna add him to the stream now. Hey,
Nick.
Hey,
can y'all hear me?
yes, we can hear you.
Okay.
So, Nick,
Yes, ma'am.
I want you to tell the people, because I'm highlighting you right now. I want you to tell the people what Level Up did for you. Well, tell people, one, how we met or how you saw it. 2, tell people what Level Up, how it meant, what it meant for you in the beginning, and then how Baltimore changed your life.
Right. Okay. So we met through social media, on actually Instagram, where you had put a post regarding Level Up, and I think I inboxed you. We had a virtual meeting, and you gave me some greater insight on what had happened in the past, and I, as I indicated to you then, had put on my strategic planning vision board from the previous year to do a 5-city tour. And then this came, and so for me, Level Up was not only manifested, but prophesied in terms of me for what it did for me. I started my own book tour in Milwaukee, and then just was able to add Level Up and still speak on belief and mindset, and also promote the book in the 5 cities that I did. So it has been an amazing, not only when you talk about community and you talk about networking as well as opportunity, it's just been all around. And I say never underestimate the value of networking and the connection of who you see or who might see you as a result of doing the things that we do. And so from that, I met an individual in Baltimore. Baltimore was the first city, in fact, and was featured in the Baltimore, I think it was a magazine or their local newspaper or magazine. They did an article, which I shared on social media, including LinkedIn, and had an individual reach out to me from the DC area regarding DE&I work, which is what I do as well. So from there, I've just finished a whole program being certified in their platform to be able to do training all over for DE&I space. So it is, and through that training, met a whole new community of other professionals to collaborate with. And so it's just been compounding and compounding and compounding. So I think we can't say enough about just, taking the step and seeing the opportunity to participate and the value that it brings, because the value that it brings is as much as you showing up. That's the first step. As much as us agreeing to participate, as much as us agreeing to share our story, make our voice known, all of those things matter and can catapult you to pretty much infinity. You just got to believe it and trust the process.
Well, come on here, Nick. I really look. Let me tell you something. So I deemed Nick the ambassador for a couple of reasons. One, because when I asked him to come on Instagram with me, he was so on fire. And he's actually been sharing the opportunity with like-minded people, which is another thing that Level Up is about. We don't want to be selfish. We don't want to keep this to ourselves. Yes, it is and I didn't say this before, it is a pay-to-play opportunity. However, we're giving you what you're paying for is well worth it, if not more. I'm like Jeremy Anderson. I like to over deliver. So what you're paying for, we're definitely going to give you more than that. Our first stop is in Philly. And the reason why I want to do this week is because we're like almost like less than 2 weeks out. And this is just, it's been amazing. And Nick, you drive carefully. I see you over there moving and shaking and stuff. Don't do nothing that we got to try to get to Dallas and take care of you.
Look, I got a good chauffeur.
Oh, the wife is driving. Hey!
Don't show me.
Yeah, I got a good chauffeur.
Tell her sorry. We can't wait to meet her in person, though. I'm so honored. Thank you for allowing your husband to be a part of our tour. We've adopted him as big little brother. I can't wait to meet you, Mrs. Nick.
Absolutely. I can't wait to meet Charlie.
Wonderful. Nick, I'm so gracious. I won't hold you because I know you out with your lovely wife, but thank you. I just had to definitely have you on here because, again, you speak and add so much value to what the heartbeat of Level Up really is. And the fact being that you were able to come onto the stage. And Nick has started, and I don't know if he mentioned this because I was trying to answer some people behind the scenes, but Nick came on originally only wanted to do 3 cities. And by the end of the first city, when he walked off of Baltimore stage, he was like, okay, so look, I'm looking at my calendar now. I need to add the last 2 cities, which is amazing. And the only reason why he didn't do all 5 cities last year was because work conflicted with the Charlotte city. But other than that, Nick was present in every city, and every time he came, he brought the fire. So honored to be connected to you. I can honestly call you a brother. And thank you for doing everything that you're doing for Level Up. And I can't wait to see you in person in 2 weeks when we start off in Philly. So I'm going to let you go. Enjoy your wonderful evening with your wife. I can't wait to meet you, sis. And we'll talk soon.
Thank you all. Thank you, ladies. Be blessed.
Talk to you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So let's see. I don't like that. There we go. That one looked better. Woo. That one scared me for a minute, y'all. Woo-hoo. Okay, so I don't know what happened to Miss Sheila. I know Sheila was actually at another event, so I thank her for joining us while she did. So I was trying to see, I put in a group to see if any other speakers wanted to join us. If they do, they could just click the link that's in our group messenger. Would love to have you on to talk about it. If not, we will continue this conversation, just the 3 of us. Let me see. What other questions can I ask y'all? Wait, let me put my spectacles back on. Y'all know 52 hit different.
There's some folks in the audience.
I did tell them, and
there's some Level Up family in the audience.
I see. We see. There's Wynette here said she said she was someone else. Hey, baby, my daughter's on here. Hey, Miss Ashley. And Monique Ashley said hey, and you got to meet Miss Rachel Ray Johnson Ashley. So our letter is on here. Our letter is in Dallas. She's a part of my Next Level family. So she will be in Dallas with us, at least if not on the stage, to definitely support us. Our other team member, RT, is on here, and that's somebody who works behind the scenes. She usually handles my tickets and support and just making sure that everything's straight whenever she's with me in the city. Dr. What do I want to call it?
It's Dr. Boothing.
Dr. Boothing.
Hey, Dr. Boothing.
Dr.
That's my baby.
Look, Dr. Miss Jamaican. Miss Dr. Betsy. Betsy's on here. Betsy, if you want to get on, please click the link in the group chat. If anybody could join us, we would love to have you. Hey, Steph B.
Oh, yeah, I forgot Steph was there. I seen her. I'm sorry, Steph.
That's okay. Steph and I met at the same time I met Dr. Rachel Ray Johnson, and they've been simply amazing. Okay, so while we waiting to see if anybody joins us now, let's finish this conversation.
I wanted to piggyback on something that Monique said. I'm sorry, K Monique. See how familiar you get? You just be dropping people's names and initials and all that foolishness. I'm sorry.
It's all good.
Y'all gotta remember Miss K Monique. As a matter of fact, I just put some information out. I know I stepped all over my own self. I just put some information out, but I'm proud of my girl. I'm sure she's going to tell y'all about the anthology. But what I wanted to say is Renee was talking about visibility and K Monique was talking about credibility. I like to tell people that visibility plus credibility gives you profitability. K Monique was definitely right. That you need that credibility. But what I wanted to share was this. As somebody who does content, somebody who helps people with storytelling, you have to get awareness. You got to be visible, but you got to be visible with what you do in line with how it can work for others. The second thing is once you become aware, they become aware of who you are, that visibility, then because of the information that you're given, you get the credibility. And that credibility allows you to influence people so that you can get those sales and convert them quickly. And I know a lot of people have shared that working with Renee and those connections. Where did Nick get that connection from? What city was that?
That's why you gonna keep she gonna rub it in BMO. He got it in BMO.
So you get to do stuff like that. But not only that, but some of the speakers are working with their co-speaker to either help them get out there or collaborating and doing stuff on their own. And that's the real exciting part too. Visibility, credibility equals productivity.
You said profitability, so both.
Profitability. I did, didn't I?
It's okay.
And I think, along with what Rachel just said, I think Nick mentioned it as well. After being a part of this platform, he was able to step out and do a book tour of his own. You know, books are my jam. You know, I love them. I can do a lot of things, but I love the process of people's thoughts becoming a tangible product that not only can sell and allow them to have profitability, but give them something to step up on the stage. To me, a book is a step to the stage. We have RT on here with us, and let me tell you, the book, the content that you all have, the ideas that you have, the solutions and the stories, people are waiting, but they are struggling because you're stalling. You won't join the tour. You won't write the book. You won't, put yourself out there. Don't be afraid. Like, this is where you start. And before you know it, I wrote a 67-page best-selling book. My first book was only 67 pages. It was to the point. But my first book signing, it wasn't here in Chicago. Because of the platform I was connected to, my first book signing was at Speaking Right to Make Millions with Lisa Nichols, right? How is that for credibility? Being connected to certain platforms, being able to speak at Harvard Law School, speak in New York at Teachable, why Renee's been to Paris, not just to say she's been to Paris, this adds to our credibility and experience. So when I tell you that me speaking for you starts at $1,500, and that sounds like a lot of money, but it's not, right? The more you do this and the more you put yourself out there, because of what you've done, you'll be able to see profitability just like that. And people will want to train with you. Come on, because people gonna want to do what you're doing. And so what about even becoming profitable teaching them? The program that Dr. Rachel is talking about, if you have not been a part of her challenges, if you have not been on her platform, if you don't have a copy of her book, look, I got plenty to push of my own, but the reason why I would take this opportunity to say that we should connect with her is because what she's doing right now and the offering that she has right now is an extension of what we're doing on this tour. It's an extension of why Renee's Level Up Academy, like we all have the same idea. We're just doing it. We're different people doing it. So listen, y'all, stop sleeping. I need y'all to wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up.
It's funny. I remember, Renee, I don't remember where that was, but I got an opportunity to talk about the fear of being on stage. A lot of people want to speak. They know they're supposed to speak, but they get up there and all of a sudden it's like, I don't know if I can do this. Or you, like she said, you stall altogether. You keep coming, you follow with every story. And then, I mean, every story on every city and state. But then the problem is you won't use your voice. So what I like to remind people is all of us are public speakers. How do you mean? Well, this conversation right now is public. When you have a conversation with somebody else and maybe 2, 3, or 4, then that's public. So we do public speaking all day, every day. But it's the mindset that will get you up there. And that's one of the things also that Renee's Level Up Tour is doing. We all have an opportunity of telling people how to push past that fear, have excellent stage presence, know the story you want to tell and how to tell it with the same content, the same impact, but tweak it for your audience. For you even to know who your real audience is. A lot of us are throwing a net over the side of a boat. And then we get mad when we don't get fish, but we're getting tin cans and boots and all that other trash that's just pulling the net down. If I hear a word that y'all ask me to say over again.
Listen, because your voice is so sexy. Your accent is so sexy. It's so nice to listen to.
I'm gonna go back and laugh. I wasn't gonna put this comment, but I gotta put it on blast. So Dr. Betsy did what, 3 cities with us, Dr. Rachel?
I know she did 3 for a fact.
Chicago. No, she didn't do Chicago. She did Baltimore, Atlanta. Well, anyway, she did.
Monique, Betsy, you hear a struggling type in there what it was.
This why she said she ain't come putting on blast. This why she said she ain't coming on camera.
She put her out there.
I'm putting her on blast. Like, cause she put it out there. I'll put it up on the screen. That's why she said she ain't coming on in her body. Why not? People do Bonnie Chronicles all the time, Dr. Betsy.
But then
she is not about to come on here with hair wrapped up.
That's where I met her, though. She was here.
She was in Chicago?
That's when I met her.
So she was in Baltimore, Chicago.
She did do one more. Was it North Carolina or Mississippi?
She was in Mississippi. Mm-hmm. I don't think she did Atlanta because I think the baby got sick. Somebody got sick.
She put it in the comments.
She only did. She did 4. I'm sorry. I thought she did 3. So she did everything but Atlanta, but Charlotte because her daughter got sick. So thank you so much, Dr. Betsy. We love you. We love you. We love you. We love you. We hope, because I haven't heard from you. You've been talking to Rachel behind the scenes, but I'm hoping to see you this year, at least in a few of the cities, young lady.
She coming. She got to get up on that stage.
Her story is powerful and impactful. She has gotten several accolades this year. I'm not gonna say it was attributed to being on Level Up, but I know that she's pushed herself to do more, and I think that being a part of this community and this family, because that's what I was gonna say too. We've become a family. Like, Level Up is not just, you get on it and you get off. You get on, you get off. I'm in the process of trying to figure out how to build this community and build it properly, because I just don't want to throw just a Facebook group out there to do something. That everybody's doing that, and that's not what Level Up is about. So I'm being very strategic and very calculating in how I want to do this. But we've all become a family. Like, you'll see if you look at some of these people's posts, we are going into each other's spaces, supporting each other. Like, if somebody's at an event, somebody's having something that's not affiliated with Level Up, if somebody can get to them to support them, they're going to support them. They're calling and wishing them kudos. We're praying for each other's behind the scenes. I know Nick's father was in the hospital, I think about a month ago. And, he put it on Facebook, but I put it in our group chat, and everybody was praying. And, thank God Nick's father is okay now. But that's what this is about. We're not, now, by all means, I have to say this because I don't want anybody to feel offended or feel like this is some type of churchy thing. No, it's not. But majority, if not all the people that are connected to Level Up are faith-based or faith-believing people. We believe in God or believe in some type of higher energy power that helps to get us to where we're going. So we won't necessarily mention it like always, but because of who we are and who's on the inside of us and whose we are, we give him honor every time we hit the stage, because we know that without him, we would not be who we are or where we are today. So we're excited about that. What else can I say? Because a couple of these questions are more so for the speakers, and even though y'all spoke, y'all pretty much hit on the questions that I have, other than okay, so pick a city. Any city that will be Chicago for you, because unfortunately things happened last year. You weren't able to actually travel to all the cities. But Mo, pick Chicago. Tell me Chicago, and then outside of Baltimore, Rachel Ray Johnson.
Actually, I love Chicago with my whole heart. I really do. I don't know if it's because y'all there and we have so much fun, or but I'm pretty in love with the city and state. However, I would have to say Atlanta.
Okay, so
energy in Atlanta.
So why? Okay, now, and pertaining to the speakers and the actual tour, why would Atlanta be the city that you picked?
Like I said, the energy. The energy that was in Atlanta, the persons that were like, I didn't participate to be on the stage, but I am going to participate. Is there any way possible I can say something or do something? So there was excitement on both ends. What was being heard, people who were on the stage, people who wanted to get on the stage, some of the folk that had gone the whole way with Level Up. I don't know, at the end, it was just some kind of like graduation, certification. I made it. And that camaraderie between the other speakers, even when there was still a lot of buzz, but not a lot of confidence in ourselves yet. Some people still didn't want to get on the stage, although they spoke about it. And there wasn't numbers like they are now. That energy in Atlanta still is great. So I had to pick Atlanta. It's the last leg. Everybody is like, I don't know, the finish line. We did it.
Right. Dr. Rachel made sure she put them two cities like they have to be the pillar of the tour, because those are the two cities that kind of like pushed us over. So Mo, what was exciting about Chicago for you?
So I think Chicago for me was good. One, because I got to participate. Two, because if I'm not mistaken, it was the last city last year. And
no,
there's a city before the last. No, it wasn't. It was the second or third.
No, it was the third city. We did.
Yeah. What is it?
Yeah, because
well, let me tell you, it had that. Don't leave me energy. Don't leave me energy. Listen, every city you could tell it was emotionally overwhelming. Like, aside from the experience, the people who participated you could tell people were serious about it. Like, they were so excited to be on stage. It didn't matter what they were talking about. When we went out to eat, the connection in the community, nobody wanted to get up from the table and go home. It was like, okay, people, we do have to get up in the morning. And then when it was over, like, even in the chat, people just could not stop talking about it. And I think that, the one thing is, when I went on tour, what has been, Renee, 6 years ago? I still have friends from the very first tour. So I was saying to her when she was putting this together that when you talk about the benefits of being on a tour, talk about community. Because when you know that you're not doing it alone, and then you connect with these people, you make friends for life. Like, somebody in the city where you wouldn't travel to by yourself that you can now call, or, so on and so forth. But it was the energy. Again, I'm not trying to just bite the word because she said it. You'd have to be there. You have to, whatever city you participate in, it's there. There's an anointing, there's a grace, there's an energy, whatever you want to call it, on these cities. And it was good. It was good. I was proud to be a part. I was like, man, and you feel sad if your time, circumstance, and funds don't allow you to participate in the whole thing. Like, no matter what keeps you from the other cities, you salty. Like, after you do a city, you're going to be salty. So I want you to expect the salt. like Lot's wife. I want you to
You know, you know what's funny? I caught a lot of that salt. Well, I want to. I was like, okay, well,
I want to do it.
right, 2023. Come on, that's when you can do this.
We're working on grants, right? But we don't have them yet. So, unfortunately, we can't sponsor people yet. It's coming, but
yeah,
you feel some type of way when you can't go. And so, just be excited and bring everything to whatever city you participate in, because that city is going to give it back to you.
I had to laugh when you just said about grants and it's coming. So this first, so let's talk about the very first year. Like I said, it was 7 of us and we were invested. Like all of us were invested. Nobody was really trying to make any money. We just want to get to the cities.
Mm-hmm.
Some things didn't pan out again. Some things, life happens. Life was life in 2020. 21 after the pandemic. So when life was lifing, some things had to transpire, some things had to change, and we had to revamp and do some things. So of course, when I got with after Dr. Rachel, because actually I started the tour before I met Dr. Rachel. So Rachel and I met like right after I had did the second city. We only did 3 cities a year, so I only had 1 city left, which was Atlanta. And when I was when we started like really vibing each other, I want to say maybe about. We met in like May, but we didn't really connect until we met in person in September. And after I started telling her what my difficulties was, she was like, girl, go ahead. I'm going to come down to Atlanta just to support you, which was amazing because she didn't have to do that. But then when I told her, well, I don't need you just to come support. I need you to come help a sister out. She was so willing to do it because of the relationship that we had built before then. But when I talk about like being pushed and stuff, and we talk about grants and stuff, when we started talking about, when I finally got out of my feelings again, I'll say it, and we decided to do 2022, my whole thing was, I'm afraid that I want people to come, but are people really going to feel like that? Because I'm not going to say I'm a nobody, because I'm somebody, but I'm not as known as I'm going to be.
Come on here.
Could be at that time. So my thing was, okay, so who gonna really want to do this? And that's another testimony. Like Nick came on here. We didn't know each other from a can of paint. Nick seen an ad on IG, and what he told me on IG was, and I don't know if he mentioned it this time too, because again, I was trying to do some behind the scenes stuff with the talking to people. But Nick had told me that he put on his vision board in 2021 about being on stages in 2022.
He told him how many? 5 stages. How many cities was there? How many cities were there?
And he couldn't do all 5. But so that right there speaks volumes to me. But at the same time too, like I said, if I could give it away, and I love to say this all the time. So when somebody go back and they tell Jeremy what I say, I'm gonna say it again because I always say it. I don't have Jeremy Anderson's money yet. When I get Jeremy Anderson's money, I'll be able to support a whole bunch of people, because what I really want to do is see you succeed. What I really want to do is see you out there. I want to see you get your book written. That's why and Kay Monique, not just because she's my best friend. I believe in her enough to, like I said, she helped me. She didn't necessarily publish my first book, but she was behind the scenes with me, helping me add meat to it to understand that I had value and that I really could do this. So she pushed it. She helped birth it. That second book, though, was all her. It was all her. So when I sit up here and I became an international bestseller 3 times with 2 books, with the help of her, and this is what she loved to do. Anytime somebody asks me about a book, it ain't just because she's my best friend. It's because she know what the hell she doing. Excuse me, y'all. So anytime you want a book, and there's other people on here too that can attest to it. Again, if you get in her presence and she give you the gems and she give you what you do and you don't do nothing with it after you leave her presence, that's not her fault. But you got to admit, anybody who's been in her presence, in her classes, listening to her, just having a conversation with Mo will light a fire in you that will get you started. I'll tell you, a lot of times, a lot of stuff that I've done is because Mo and I will sit down and have a conversation afterwards. I'll be like, what we going to do? What we got to do? And if she don't stay on me, I'll lose the fire, but that's my fault. Ain't got nothing to do with her. While we together, she's like my muse. And like, I try to do the same thing with her. When I see her, because let's just be transparent here, y'all. We all go through a season or a time, multiple times throughout a year, maybe not some often, that we don't feel like being bothered. We don't want to do nothing or whatever have you. And when I'm on my high and I feel like, woo, I can do this, let's do it. Woo, woo, woo. And she not, oh, I'm on her. Like, hey, look, this role reversal, this not good for me. We don't do role reversal. This not your lane. Get out your lane. This my lane. I need you to stay in your own lane. Your lane is not being like this right now. Even with Dr. Rachel, if I don't hear from her after a couple days, because Rachel is somebody who will call you daily, even if it's to talk about nothing. If I don't hear from her a couple days, I call her and be like, hey, what's really going on? Oh, nothing. Oh, quit lying to me. What's going on, sis? Let's get past this. But that's what we do for each other. And that's the same thing that when we've connected with the people of Level Up, I can say that because for me, there's so many people that are connected now. As much as I want to talk to everybody every day, I cannot. I do follow people on social media. I comment, I tell you I love you, whatever have you. But what blesses me the most is when I got people like Burnley, Betsy. When I got people by Wynette, when I got people like RT is my sister anyway, but we was family before Level Up. When I got people like Peggy, when I got people, thank you for joining us, Peggy. When I got people like Nick, Daryl, all them who would just out of nowhere text me, hey sis, just think about you, everything good. It blesses me beyond measure. And another thing that blessed me was, even though it's just us women here, trust me, I brought Nick on for another reason. I want you all to realize that this is not just a women's empowerment tour. This is not just about women. I had Rachel, 8 men on my tour last year? It was 6 in Baltimore. And Daryl, I had 6 men, 7, 8, 9
I was
men.
going to say,
Shannon joined at the end too, even though he was a guest speaker. I had 9 men grace the stage. No, yeah, 9.
And that's a blessing in itself, because a lot of these platforms are female heavy. Now, don't get me wrong, that's not a problem, but you won't see a lot of men that are going to stand up and do it. And this is what I've heard from some of them, because they need to make sure there's a return on investment. Faith is faith. However, there are with women, a lot of times we will, I don't say we want to jump before we look, but there's more risk behind us. And because talking is natural, don't tell people I call you to talk about nothing, but because talking is natural, and we do it all day, we do it better and faster. It's chemical, it's science. That's not a racialism. Guys, write your letter to some of the doctors at Johns Hopkins and in the UK. But men won't always get on the stage. And Renee, look at some of the platforms around us where you get the call and say, I've been watching you and I want you to be a part of X, Y, and Z. And you don't see no guys on their website that have spoken. You don't see any men on the flyer. Renee, that's excellent. Like, that's a big thing, to get men and get as many as you did, and for them to be doing what they're doing now and during the tour.
I love, like, I promise you, Albert, like, one of the biggest things, so I didn't really say what city blessed me, because I'm trying to think of, because all of them, they did something different. So starting off in Baltimore, it was nervous because it was my first city. It was my first time actually stepping out the gate. Didn't think it was gonna go well because I'm not necessarily a numbers person, but I'm a numbers person. So when I don't see ticket sales, when I don't see something happening, I feel like not necessarily that's a failure, but it's gonna be slow. So I got Rachel and Moda always in my back and in my ear talking about, hey, don't look at it that way. It's gonna be impactful. And what I will say about every city was, even if the attendance was not where I wanted it to be, the people that were there were supposed to be there, and the impact was just as great, if not greater. And not only were the people in the audience blessed, but the speakers were blessed. Even if there wasn't enough people, or what I may say might not be enough people in the room because of the count that I wanted in the room, the speakers supported each other. They got something from each other. They were blessed by each other. So every city did something different for me. I'm sorry, I'm looking at Betsy's comment.
What she called me, the nutty what?
The nothing talker. The nothing
No,
talker.
don't you start that. Don't you stop. Don't you start it.
So when I go back to each city, so I'll recap because again, I'm the only one who actually went to every city. So let's say Baltimore was my out the gate. Even though we did the year before, this was my real out the gate because men were now involved in the tour. I opened it up to the world, not just to the 7 people who we started before. So this was different for me too because now it's an open platform. It wasn't just me selecting people or calling people to ask them to be a part of it. So that was scary for me. And for the 13 speakers in Baltimore to start right away and hit it out the park, that made me feel like, okay, I could breathe now. I could do this. I got that wind I got that wind in my back now. I'm believing what Dr. Rachel is saying. Not saying I didn't believe it before. I'm just like a little nervous. Stop shaking your head, lady. And what Mo was saying, but now I was like, okay, I see it. I can see it happening, whatever have you. The next city was Jackson.
No, Jackson was fourth. It was north. It was north.
It was Jackson was third because then it was Chicago, Charlotte, and then Atlanta. You didn't go to Jackson. I won't tell people why you didn't go to Jackson.
Oh, I'll tell people why I ain't go to Jackson, but you go right ahead.
Because we did Baltimore. Because it was Baltimore in May. Jackson was July. August was Chicago. September was Charlotte. November was Atlanta. October, November was Atlanta.
That's right, because we went to, yeah, you're right.
So
Charlotte was there.
But so when I got to Jackson, the reason why I picked Jackson, which was totally against Dr. Rachel Ray Johnson. She was like, why would you pick Jackson? I said, because I promised my godmother, if I ever did anything like this, and I want to be a woman of my word, that I would bring it to her city. And the people that were there were an older crowd. But Betsy will tell you, is Betsy going really, Betsy? I shouldn't put that comment up there. You funny. Betsy will tell you too. I think that there was a different spiritual move in Jackson. And people, it was real different. The energy was real different there. And I think a lot of it had to do with, one, it was an older crowd that was there, older generation. Again, me honoring my godmother. Shantae's family was there, so all of her family from Mississippi was there. Her father had never seen her speak before. All of her family members are weepy. They were very, very proud of her because, you know, sometimes we tell people we speak and then they went for people to actually see us speak. It does something different to them. And like the people in the older crowd in Jackson, they were so grateful. Like it's like they were almost hungry for some people like us to come to Jackson. So that was empowering for me, and being able to see my godmother's face and see how proud she was, especially since the role that she stepped into my life since my own mom passed away. Her and I will say Monique's mom, Miss Faye, are like they're my surrogate mother since my mom has been gone. So anytime I could do something for them when they ask me to, I do my best to do it because I feel like honoring them. And so to see her face was amazing. Next was Chicago. Now, be transparent again. I was kind of iffy about Chicago. I didn't want to do Chicago. Why? Because I felt like Chicago did me so wrong the year before. And anybody who's listening who feels some kind of way, I want you to take it personal, but I support a whole bunch of people in Chicago. And I had to realize then a lot of times, even though you support others, they may not support you. And I had to be okay with that. But I wasn't okay with that in 2021 because I felt some kind of way. So this time, you know, just being here, I was there, but I was like, hey, look, I'm gonna leave it to everybody else. If everybody else promoting, everybody else come, you come support them. Don't nobody have to come support me. As far as I was concerned, I wanted to be successful for everybody else. And the turnout was amazing. And I think it was more so amazing just because of the amazing speakers that I had on the platform. And we had fun. We went out for pizza the night before. We actually got to hang out, get to know each other, spend time, fellowship. People got to actually see the city of Chicago afterwards. They had never been to Chicago before. So just that whole bounce back for me. Chicago was a bounce back city for me. Next was Charlotte. Charlotte again. Numbers, kind of disappointing. However, the people that were in the room need to be in the room. We also, as speakers, may have not been great in numbers, but we got to sharpen ourselves some more. We did some new things. And I think the thing that blessed me about Charlotte was I'm somebody who, and Mo, Ray, I think you now know me at a point that you probably can attest to this too, but definitely Monique, I don't like being doted on. I don't like being called to the forefront. I don't like people doing things for me. I'm always a behind the scene person. You don't have to bless me. Just saying thank you is enough for me. You don't have to acknowledge me publicly. And a lot of stuff that I do behind the scenes on purpose. I started my non-for-profit that I still do, that a lot of people think that I probably ain't did nothing with because I don't promote it like I used to, which I'm about to start getting back into, which we'll talk about as we close out this live. But I don't like being put to the forefront because I don't feel like it's embarrassing. I just feel like it's not a necessity, or I don't need to be shown like that. And when Daryl decided to use me in his speech, I felt like that was something that was not just him doing it, and I'm trying not to be emotional, not just him doing it, but I think God also showing me that he was pleased with what I was doing and that he was happy with what I was doing. And he has seen the growth in me and me learning to step out on faith again and do different things that I needed to be not acknowledged, but given my flowers. Is the best way I could say it. By when Daryl used me in his speech to be crowned, you could have bought me with a penny. I was shot after that. I was totally done. And just the fact being the people that were in the room, like I said, we sharpened each other up. But the people that were there, Wynette's family was there. I think they still talking about it every now and again. Wynette say her sister or somebody saying, I'm trying to get her sister on the stage. So that blessed me. And then ended it out in Atlanta, like you say, the energy. I think Atlanta's gonna be my favorite city because they showed so much love the first year. And again, they came out again this year. And then like the love that I got from the speakers and just the excitement of them being there and all the testimonials, which I keep playing over and over again, that were taped afterwards. I probably should have set up my camera or my computer to have them ready here now, but I didn't, and I apologize. But I got like several testimonies, and not just people that spoke, but people that were in the audience that were blessed by it. They came. Dr. Ed hadn't seen her brother in I don't know how many months or whatever have you. Him and his wife came, and they happened to be related to Betsy. And look, she said her sister ready to travel. So just the fact everybody being in the room, and it's just like it's just amazing. So for me, all 5 cities did something different, and I'm glad that I have. If I'll ever tell you all again, I want to thank you all for being in my corner. I want to thank you all for seeing the vision and helping me push and birth the vision. Mo has been somebody, like I said, that always pushes me no matter what. So when I first started sharing my story, and now I'm about to talk about what we're doing in Philly. So anybody in Philly, listen up. We'll be in Philly April 15th.
Yes, that's Saturday.
April 15th. And what my story actually started, I mean, I've had stories all my life, but what pushed me out into the forefront is me surviving 15 years of domestic abuse and being gunned down in front of my home, almost losing my life. And 6 years after the fact, I was able to go on a platform of a mutual friend who also, her sister did a domestic violence walk in her honor because she lost her life 4 months after I got shot. And still to this day, I always think about Tamia. I always think about what she would be doing now, how proud she would be of her kids and things like that. But her life got snuffed out too soon. And after I told my story on that platform, I think I put it on YouTube and Facebook, and within a matter of like 48 to 50 something hours, I got over 7,000 likes and views between the two platforms. And I got tricked by my besties. I'm a Hooters girl. You call me and say, we going out for chicken, I'm going out for chicken. So they was like, hey, let's go out for some chicken. I was like, oh, you ain't said nothing but things. So we go to Hooters and we sitting there and we just hobnobbing. We having fun. We eating on some honey Thai, having a little Pepsi. We having a good time. But these two people are also very business minded, and they hear from God clearly. And we'll switch an atmosphere on you just like this. So then all of a sudden, I'm gonna say, hey, so what we gonna do with this? And she shows me the video, and I'm like, I'm sorry. We're gonna do nothing with that. She's like, oh, no, we're gonna do something with it. And then here comes her wonderful husband, who's also my best friend, because they won, so they my best friends together. He go, yeah, so let's figure out what this name is gonna be, what this organization is gonna be about, and what we're gonna do with it, and how it's gonna run. And I'm like, so y'all really, this is what we're doing? This is what we're doing, Renee, whether you like it or not. And before we left about that table, they would not let me go anywhere. And that's how For My Voice Matters was birthed. And from there, just baby steps, doing things. But I think that I've done amazing things behind the scenes as well as the stuff that I put out publicly. And like I said, now the reason why I mentioned that at the end is because when we come into Philly, we're looking to partner with some DV shelters. Why? Because I got to put For My Voice Matters back out there, live, out front and in front and center. And the reason being is I'm not somebody who's looking to build a shelter. I'm not somebody who's looking to do whatever have you. I've always been this. I'm a connector. I like to connect people to resources and things. So when some resources are not available, by calling the 1-800 number, by going to your local or somebody close to you, I want somebody to be able to reach out to For My Voice Matters and say, hey, I need help, and I'll be able to help you. Mo is a witness. I started the Underground Railroad Initiative during the pandemic, and I was able to help, I want to say, 2 families move, and 1 family actually purchased plane tickets to get them out of a situation immediately and travel across country. And we do this anonymously, meaning that they don't, nobody knows that they're leaving. We do it as secretly as possible, and so we just snatch them up, or they plan. We plan safely together, so that they can leave and get out of Dodge safely. And so coming into Philly, my team, not just me, well, really it wasn't me at all. My team came up with it, and I'm sorry, let me correct. It was another guy on the tour by the name of Kevin Ferguson who dropped it in my ear. And I brought it to the team, and the team said that's a great idea. So what we're doing is we're conjuring up a letter, or we've conjured up a letter to go to these shelters or these organizations in that area. And we're offering them an opportunity to grace the stage, if they so feel, to talk about their organization, how they survive something without it being a sad story, or just something to empower the people in the room on how to level up. In order for them to do that, because they're not coming through the regular channels of registering or talking with us, they have to sell a certain amount of tickets in order to be on our stage. Or if they bring a certain number of people from an agency that need assistance as far as being empowered, uplifted, need to be in a room around different people to bring their spirits up, to let them know that no matter what they've been through, that they can survive and move on and level up and live their next best life, then they can grace the stage after that amount of people. They invite that many people from an agency or whatever to the room. So if that's something that somebody in the Philly area that they're interested in, please, by all means, have them reach out to me on all social media platforms. You can find me by Renee, and that's YRENA Cooper. YRENA, not the other way, which is RENEE. And why is that? Because my mom was different, and so am I. So I like to do it that way. So anyway, with that being said, I want closing remarks from my last 2 people. Sheila apparently had her event. She couldn't come back. She did text me and apologize. So Mo, why Level Up 2023?
I'm sorry, I was on mute. So I'm just going to go back to what we talked about before. When you connect with the Level Up Tour, one of the things that have been set in place as a screening process includes a question that asks, what are your goals as a speaker? And you'd be surprised how many people want to do something, but haven't really thought about and laid out how to articulate why they want to do it. And so my closing remarks would be to really think about your speaking goals. And I pulled out my little sheet so I could remind myself. And really quickly, I'm going to just name these 7. You could pick one from the 7. You can put them together. But my closing remarks are, have your goals in place. This is only the second quarter of this year, so you still have time to make an incredible impact. We all get those 86,400 seconds every day, and you're going to be accountable. You have to be accountable for your time and what you're doing with your life. Aside from going to work and all the other roles that we have, there is a purpose for you on the planet. So when you think about your goals, think about visibility, being visible, think about credibility, establishing that trust, know, like, and trust factor, the respect from your audience and your tribe. Think about profitability. We're all trying to recession proof ourselves as all these countries are deciding that the US dollar doesn't even amount to anything, which means that prices could go up here in a way that affects our families and how we live. I want you to think about experience and sharpening your speaker skills. We all are lifelong learners. We need to go to the next level. It's time to level up. Number 5, leverage. You need something to leverage. You can leverage your speaking reels. You can leverage your speaking experience. You can leverage your photos and all the other things about where you've been and what you've done and turn it into money. If you want to know how to do that, that's why you got to connect with us, right? Because we can collapse time for you and offer that strategy. Also, number 6 is new experiences and fun. Don't sit and regret 2 years from now, a year from now, 5 years from now, and be looking back like, man, I could have done this and I could have done that. You want to do it right now, live your best life. And number 7 is to build those new relationships, opportunities to collaborate, take your business and your brand to the next level. So yeah, I'm just going to say, if you're on the fence, get off the fence and come on over here with us.
Come over to the right side.
So, Dr. Rachel Ray Johnson,
Well,
Love 2023.
Everything that Mo said, but how to do it. We're going to help you with your stage presence. We're going to help you with your speech. And all of this will be the visibility. But we're also going to help you with the content marketing, your content marketing that you need to be visible. Show you how to utilize, as Monique said, to leverage, but how to utilize not only the things that we've given you, but how to keep doing it yourself so that you can paint that picture, that storyboard of who you are and your brand, and have what you've done speak for you. But more than anything, we want to be able to show you how to find your voice so that you can find your audience and be as impactful as you want to be. Because as Monique mentioned, there's questions that we ask in the beginning when people come on the platform. But a lot of people, whether they're scared or not, they're right. Monique is right. She said it was their purpose, but their reasoning for doing it is so that they can so you can see my scars and not necessarily have to have my wounds. And that's what Level Up does. It gives you the whole package and make you a whole speaker. And if you're already on a platform, there's always something that is going to make you better so that the whole you stays whole and healthy. Speaking is a living organism. It's not just something I do, it's who I am.
It's just gonna end it just like that, huh? All right.
So, why, Renee, I also want to say this. I hope that when we have these platforms like this, when we're going live from cities, when we're jumping on to share information, I asked in the chat if anyone had any questions. Do not let people who have what you need be in your presence and you not ask the question. Maybe you want to know, how do I pick a topic? Maybe you want to know, how do I structure a talk? Maybe you want to know, we can't give you the same level of information that we would give you in a paid setting or once you invest, but we can answer questions. We can do, hot seats. We can put you on the right track and give you things to think about. So we're not here just to entertain you or for you to listen to us have a conversation, but we're a resource. And it hurts my heart even when I go live and I'm like, is there any questions? Anybody want to ask anything? Anybody have? And you're dying to ask these questions, and not just about the tour, but about the craft, about what it is that we do or how we've done things. We would love to share and be that confirmation that you need to level up.
Now, I did want to ask something, Renee, if I can. Sure. There are a lot of businesses out there where this is not your industry, but it could possibly aid those persons that are in the speaking realm and the different things they speak on. give me a call, DM me, send something to R Johnson at Creative. You see it in my little message there, but do R Johnson at Creative, because there's sponsorship opportunities. You don't just do your brand messaging or tell a story if you get up on the stage, but some of our calling is to be able to connect our business to people who can help push it and make a little money on the side. So talk to me about being in a room and selling your product. Or if you want to have your product on marketing material, or if you just want to create a backlink between our platforms and your own, so that when people come searching for us or looking at us, they'll see what you've done, how you've done it, where you showed up. And one of those places could be Level Up. So give me a call if you're interested in doing any of those things.
Yes.
Well, I keep saying call, but shoot me an email.
Shoot me an email.
Shoot me an email. Y'all know how I feel about my phone number.
Slide in my DM. Slide in my DM.
No, let's not do that. Let's walk in, because I gave you an invitation. And if you don't act right, I'm going to walk you back out. You're not sliding into nothing. Thank you, Jesus.
Oh my goodness. So that, y'all, this is the type of fun we have all the time, though, and not to mention the fun that we have on the tour. So as soon as this live is over and I'm able to edit the comments at the top, there will be a link. If you're interested in joining the tour, there is a form you need to fill out that has all the details and a written agreement that when you sign off and say that you agree to these things, nothing major, it's just legal binding for both of us. It helps both of us do whatever have you. Anytime you do something, you need a contract or you need something verbally said. So this is something that we do to make it, to let you know that we ain't playing and we's professionals. This is what we's do. So I want to thank you all for coming in. All of the speakers who were in the comments. You all are amazing. I do want to probably go live a couple more times before we actually hit Philly. So if any speaker is available to just have a conversation with me, if not, I don't have a problem bringing these lovely team members back on. We'll figure out something to talk about, or we may just talk about the same thing. Because anytime we talk about something, we're speakers. We can always put a spin on it. We can turn around and make it seem like we said something totally different, but we said the same thing.
No, see, that sounds a little shady. So why don't we?
No, so what I'm saying is, let me correct it. Then.
Thank you.
What I'm saying is, so I can tell the same story differently every time I get on stage. It's still my story, but I add a spin to it or a twist to it. So it seems like it's a new story, but it's the same story.
So you're gonna model the craft for us. Is that what you're saying?
Come on, sis. Look, that's all I'm saying. Woo.
Monique, don't help her out.
Okay. And the reason why I said that is because, of course, you go to cities and we're doing recording, speaker reels. Of course, your story stays the same. However, to get different content, even though you're in a different outfit, you want it to be a little bit different so you can put out different content.
Marketing material.
Right, it's all about marketing. So that's all I'm saying, y'all. So with that being said, we've been on for almost an hour 30. See how the time went by? I didn't even know we had been on that long. That's what I get for not having my glasses on. Woo! Yep, a whole hour and 23 minutes. Look at that.
Yes, ma'am.
I love it. You guys are simply amazing. I'm so glad that you all are part of my team and you agreed to work with me. Thank you for continuing to push me. Thank you for believing in Level Up and helping Level Up be everything that it is and what it's going to be. So with that being said, I love you too forever. Infinity. And we will definitely talk soon. But however, to my Facebook family and to my YouTube family, I want to thank you all for joining me tonight. Please like, share, comment, share this, do whatever have you. And because I am a content creator, so by Facebook standards, please, by all means, give me some stars. Let me know that you like this content and you want to see more of it. Isn't that what all the creators say? They do.
Hit the subscribe button up there and hit the bell for notifications.
only thing, and then that's gonna cause me to put out more content. Quit trying to work my thing, Rachel. I'm not ready to do more content on YouTube yet. Look, y'all done made me get hot. Look at here. Oh boy, I tell you, I'm a little glossy by the face. Just
You can stay in the kitchen. You good.
hey, it's my cousin Renee. Hello, my love. We love you too. You missed the show. Go back and watch the replay again. For all those watching live and all those watching the replay, we thank you so much because we can stay on all night and do this. But I'm gonna end this live before we start up a whole other conversation. So, with that being said, what Carol Burnett say? Oh, I'm so glad we had this time together. You all have a good night.
Not the same redhead.